We're watching every Adam Sandler film to see how they still hold up. This week, we watched Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween is a Halloween horror film hated by most YouTubers and critics. It takes place in the town of Salem, where Hubie Dubois, played by Adam Sandler, calls home, despite being the town's collective punching bag. To be fair, Hubie does have a very tough accent to listen to.
Hubie, with an H.
But when you get past that, the movie does have some charm. It's backed by a star-studded cast and jam-packed with references to past Sandler films and horror films that have come before it. The big question is, though, is it a cool genre-bending spooky movie to watch on Halloween? Or are the YouTubers and critics correct in saying that it's a total hack?
We play a game of Adam Sandler themed bingo around here. We take all of the tropes of Adam Sandler films, we put them into a bingo roller, we get our little balls, bing bang bomb. You can play along at home if you want to. All the details are in the description. Joe, how did you go this week, my friend?
I just scored it at the end. I started strong with fart joke.
I too had El Fart Joko.
And then at the end, I scored it off with hot wife. I know they never said they were married, but I saw the rings on their fingers.
No, yeah, I'll take that for sure.
It happen.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Hey, thank you.
I had product placement. I had the Busca.
Yeah.
I had Yabbadabbadoo.
Oh my God, the whole movie was Yabbadabbadoo.
And early on, I haven't had this for a while, Projectile Vomit.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa style.
That's the first time I've seen us have a Projectile Vomit movie.
So good.
That was so strange.
We had Jackie Sandler in this film, and we also had Rob Schneider, but not a racist stereotype. He just played a man.
He pays more than you.
I'm here now.
I was waiting for the accent to come out, but it never came.
But let's get into the main review of this film.
Hubie Halloween starts like any modern Sandler film. We're going through the town, and it's very reminiscent of Sandy Wexler that we watched recently. Same director. Adam Sandler's doing that stupid voice throughout the entire movie.
Hey, you missed. The joke's on you.
Got that pang of, oh no, it's happening again.
It is happening again.
It is, and it was all the like the jokes had really weird sound mixing. It was all in your face.
Which, as we know by now, is Sandler's voice. Is that slapstick is one of his favorite comedic choices. And we say that by the way, Hubie is just hated by the entire town, with things being thrown at him left and right as he cycles his bike. At his work, he gets pranked with the goat meme. The goat meme made an appearance in this movie.
And it's very strange because, like Sandy Wexler, why does everyone hate this guy? Like, he's just trying to be a helpful dude. He might be a bit quirky, but everyone hates him so much.
Yeah, and there wasn't really a reason, but Sandy Wexler, there actually was a reason to hate him. He was quite annoying. Whereas Hubie is super lovable, which I actually preferred in this movie, to be fair, because I wanted to root for Hubie the entire way through.
Yeah.
He wasn't annoying and unlikable like Sandy Wexler's character was, so that's a big dub. But to wind this movie back to this, right at the start, we see Ben Stiller reprise his role in Happy Gilmore, from Happy Gilmore rather, where he plays the nurse, and the nurse has the most iconic line in Happy Gilmore.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
I didn't know, I haven't seen Happy Gilmore, that's crazy.
This movie is a fantastic movie of fan servicing. It adds so many past references from his older movies into this, whether it's the Doyles, even little things like the fact that Julie Bowen's in it. She was also in the movie Happy Gilmore. So there's all these old cast members coming back. It's really, really cool. We've got Kevin James playing the cop in that, and I don't know if anyone else noticed this, they probably did, but Kevin James also played a cop in Monster House, another horror film. So that was really, really cool to see these little nods. Steve Buscemi also in it, playing the creepy neighbor. Also was the creepy neighbor in Monster House.
Oh my God.
Yes,
I'm just the schmuck who didn't get any of this.
This movie was absolutely littered with some magic in it, and that's why I think it had a lot of charm.
I have a question for you though, Mac. With this kind of slapstick humor that we're experiencing, do you think it feels a bit dated? Like the goat meme, that people throwing huge objects at him unrealistically. It's like, I feel like we're in like YouTube 2012.
I think the objects didn't date it as much as the goat meme definitely did. Like when I saw the goat meme in Thor, I was like, oh, Taika Waititi, what are you doing, brother? I think this was definitely an old school Sandman film done in very recent times.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was stupid, and we'll get to it later, but the jokes that normally don't land for me, that are still like very Sandman-esque, they kind of landed this movie still. Like, for example, with Shaq having a female voice.
I guess my radio voice throws people off sometimes.
It wasn't really punching too hard at somebody else, so it was still for me like enjoyable. I wasn't cringing at it, so I thought it was a good balance.
I think my biggest struggle was feeling like a lot of things I'd already seen before, but we'll get to that.
This is in my eyes, a perfect background, watching it on the week of Halloween. It's kind of harmless fun. You know?
You can watch it with the family.
Yeah, to get you in the feel of Halloween. So,
except for the part with that nun.
I'm asexual, but that girl's making me hella horny.
They always throw in like a confusing, like, oh, it's not quite for the family.
So to lay it out plainly, Hubie Dubois is a hated man in the town of Salem, where they did the witch trials back in the day. That's one plot point. Another plot point is there is a killer on the loose. Another plot point is that Steve Buscemi moves in next door. Is he the killer that's on the loose? We don't know. We'll find out that later.
Yeah.
Then we've got Violent Valentine. Violent Valentine is Hubie Dubois' love interest, who is in love with the cop, but then it's getting too confusing. So just remember those points.
It's just a classic Sandler romance. Don't think about it too hard. They're gonna hook up at the end.
My brain's hurting!
Will Byers from Stranger Things is Violet Valentine's son, and we're also following them going to their teenage parties and partying on Halloween for some reason. A point that I had is that it's like a modern Sandler where it's just 30 minutes too long.
Yeah.
Like, we do waffle around in the town a lot before getting to the stuff.
Even now doing this review, it's hard to find the concrete plot line because it did have a lot of little side adventures that didn't need to happen. Like the character of the mayor in this movie, redundant. He was a very redundant character.
Everything centers around no one wants to deal with Hubie, to the point where Kevin James employs him as a secret agent, but really just wants him to stop bothering him.
You can never be seen talking to me or any other officer in this place.
Because Hubie is in the middle of the action though, and no one believes him. He's seeing people get abducted, he's trying to protect Violet Valentine's kids, but everyone hates him constantly.
And it's super rough, but the only love that comes to Hubie is from the Valentine family, which is quite sweet. So that's nice that we have some people in the movie actually sticking up.
Played by his actual kids. Sadie and Sonny are in this movie. It's very, and with all the references from before, it does feel very homegrown.
It does, it does. The only gripe that I had that we've kind of touched on before was they world build too much in some of these movies where there's way too many characters, where realistically, this could be a movie between Hubie's mum, Hubie, Violet Valentine, and the police officer, right?
Yeah.
It really didn't, and the killer, but there didn't need to be 30 other characters that had a heavy say. What was Ray Liotta, what was his point in this movie?
That's what I'm saying, they're all just here to hate Sandler.
Yeah.
Like, they're all just here to be bullies. Like, there are some huge themes of bullying in this film.
Well, yeah, that's it. Film's whole purpose is the bullying plot and what that eventually eventuates to.
Yeah, so going into spoiler territory now, we get this idea that Steve Buscemi is like a werewolf and might be behind the killings. There's this masked killer walking around. And to the movie's credit, it puts you on these red herrings, but then it's just revealed to have no point at all to the story. Like, it isn't the masked killer, it's just Rob Schneider.
Slightly disappointing, slightly. But also, I kind of liked how spooky of a turn it took. It could have even gone a little bit darker in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because the turn it took was that Sandler's mum was actually abducting all these people. And the red herrings of Rob Schneider and Steve Buscemi being either a wolf or an escaped killer. The mum's been kidnapping people and is about to burn them at the stake for bullying her son.
Shout out June Squibb.
She plays a perfect creepy character so well.
I like the idea that they've subverted, like, it's not the masked killer, it's not the werewolf.
Yeah.
But then there was just kind of no point to them apart from being a red herring. Like, their characters kind of serve no purpose at the end, to the point where they're at the crime scene where Sandler's mum is about to burn them alive, and they're just like,
why did we bring them again? There was nobody left at the station.
So the police come at the right time, so does Hubie, and he stops the mum from murdering these people. And it almost seemed like a pretty good ending. I was pretty content with it, and my only real sour point was the fucking monologues that Ray Liotta and the gang went on as this self-realization of we shouldn't be bullying because I've got my own problems.
But Hubie uses big words and they come out so natural for him.
It pisses me off.
It was so wanky and unneeded. It was already said.
I mean, that's the message, right? Because they were still bullying Hubie when
Yeah.
he saved their lives.
True.
Because, yeah, the bullying is the thing that was honed in on the most. Cut to a year later, Hubie Dubois is the mayor. His wife is Julie Bowen. He's
Yeah.
adopted all their kids. Poor Kevin James was the ex-husband and their dad. He saved the day. He solved Salem. Everything's perfect. Like every other Adam Sandler ending. It's another romance plot with a big theme that ends wonderfully.
Hey, Rain Over Me didn't have a perfect ending.
Yeah, well, that wasn't Happy Madison.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Happy
fair.
Madison has been churning out the same shit for years.
You can't call it shit. It's so enjoyed by the masses.
Oh, God.
I really enjoyed this movie. I think we should get into ratings here, and I'm happy
Yeah.
to lead the charge here in saying that I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. I enjoyed it reviewing it, which is rare. Normally I watch a movie and then having to review it and kind of scrutinize it, it's hard. I really enjoyed it. I'm born on Halloween, so maybe there's a massive bias here, but I like having Halloween movies added to my collection that don't scare the shit out of me, i.e. Monster House, and now Hubie Halloween. I gave this a very confident, comfortable 7.
Wow. That's a big rating.
I'm assuming you're gonna come out with something wild like a 2. I can just feel that energy
I
from
was just
you.
taking my rating off my screen so you wouldn't see it. Mac, I unfortunately felt that I needed to make an example out of this film because this is very much what we have seen before. Sandler has been on this trend of taking a film, like a classic genre film, spinning it to make it its own thing, making the characters all one dimension, and just making a very plain movie.
Yeah.
Sure, this film was fine, but it was just grabbing references from the past and like themes of like old horror slasher flicks, like Halloween. There's just so many unnecessary scenes. I'm not hating on the Sandman. I just think that humans were meant for more than this. There's so much opportunity for classic spins and fun, but just everything is really basic, and I just don't think it is worth a big special rating. Mac, I gave it a 3. I'm sorry.
Here's what I'll say. Everything you've just said has summarized Adam Sandler's full filmography. It is comfort viewing. It's supposed to be light and easy. It's supposed to have a wrapped up bow. There's a reason we have a bingo game
Yes.
with all of his tropes is because it is the same shit every single time. So you complaining about it being the same shit every single time, for me is like, that's crazy. That's the formula.
But he's had a whole career to do this. Like, there are movies that he's made recently that I love. Like, Hustle's a great film.
Sure.
Came out around the same time. That's a great, like, passion project. This is, let's take everything we've already done and just lump it into a very neat, deliverable Netflix movie. And there's so much more value out there in the arts.
I
and
think
like,
there
it's
is.
fine. It's a fun, spooky Halloween, but I can't give it a high rating just because it's comfort.
Yeah, but this isn't a high rating, this is a very low rating. I think comfort films are Adam Sandler's films. That is the bulk of his career is off of comfort viewing.
Some do it better than others. Look, high 3, low 4.
Something that doesn't offend you, 3 is very low. Seeing as you're putting it as in the same realm as Chuck and Larry, 3 is so low. Whereas in my eyes, a 5 is your mid. It doesn't offend me, but it doesn't wow me. That would be your 5.
At least Chuck and Larry dared to be dangerous. You know?
Hey folks at home, feel free to disagree with both of us in the comment section below. Please subscribe, but before we're done, we have to draw next week's film.
Hey, yes we do. Let's get the hat. Grab out next film.
Our next film that we are watching, my friend, is Click,
Yo!
baby! Okay!
Dude, I haven't seen Click. I've heard it's a good one.
I remember crying my eyes out as a kid to Click. But it was like a classic Sandman, but I remember crying my eyes out. I'm pretty sure Christopher Walken's in it.
Hey, subscribe to our Patreon if you want more content. Lots of bonus stuff we're gonna start putting up on there. But most of all, make sure you tell someone you love them today.
Bye now.
Bye.